Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Go.
Welcome to the show. Let's get this party started.
I'm out.
Hopefully, y'all had a great day today.
I'm out.
It won't be allegedly because he was charged.
Welcome to Speak. I'm out. Welcome to Speak. I'm out.
Why, those must be some good wings.
I'm out. Who You With Kurt Dog.
Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. I know we're a little bit late tonight. It's been a rough one day after Halloween, and let's just say we here. We made it, but we are live. I want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house, and also Anchor.fm. I got to get them up. Yeah, I forgot about them tonight, so my mind is going all over the place. But definitely, you can live chat with us in the chat room. Excuse me. Um, so tonight we're gonna hit on a couple of things. Tonight, just hold on, I'm trying to get this up because this computer moving flow. It's time for an update, but I haven't done it yet. But also, don't forget tomorrow is election day, so definitely go and vote. If you didn't vote early last week or the week before, definitely go out and vote. The election is coming up tomorrow, especially here in Texas. We have 8 amendments that we're voting on. So definitely do your research, go out and vote. And then also, there are some other states that are voting also, which in I believe it's in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. In Virginia, on their ballot, which is very important, um, you have the opportunity of if you're in Virginia watching, my big brother Doug, I know you tune in a lot. Um, Y'all have the opportunity of bringing the first black-owned casino to Virginia, and it's on the ballot. So definitely flip it over. Vote yes for it if you feel comfortable with it, and a casino resort. So definitely do that, and also let your voice be heard because every state, your ballot is different. So you definitely want to take advantage of it and definitely get out and vote for it. Um, Hopefully everybody can hear us good. You know, my computer been doing some crazy thing lately. But once again, want to welcome everyone on Facebook, uh, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house, and also Anchor.fm. Um, Tonight, we're going to hit on a couple of stories tonight. We're not going to be long, but we're going to be strong. So, going to hit on a couple of stories tonight. Um, I don't know if y'all remember Jennifer Ryan. That's the real estate broker here out of Texas. And she took part in the January 6th attack on Capitol Hill and tweeted about it, said it was the best day of her life. That's what she said. She tweeted, did a lot of live videos during that time. And I, I don't know if I caught the story when it came out, but she also tweeted on March 26th of this year saying, definitely not going to jail. Sorry, I have blonde hair, white skin, and a great job, a great future, and I'm not going to jail. Sorry to rain on your hater parade. I did nothing wrong. Now, when she was arrested back in January, she pled not guilty, but she just recently changed her not guilty to guilty. And she will be sentenced Thursday. I want to know how y'all feel about it with that tweet she did back in March. See, that's why you got to be careful what you put on social media, because when you start putting stuff out there, it never goes away. Even though you delete it, somebody retweeted, passed it on, and I'm hoping this judge give her appropriate time. She facing up to 6 months in jail. I feel like she should get every bit of it. Now, I've been reading this story, different stories about it. At one point, um, one of the stories said that um, and let me pull it up real quick because I have several of them pulled up. Want to make sure I pulled the right one. Um, but one of the stories talked about one of the hold on, got to get to the right one. Um, it said January 6th influencer who said she definitely not going to jail should go to jail, feds say. Um, J- Jennifer Ryan, a Trump loving real estate broker, called January 6th one of the best days of my life and bragged that she wouldn't go to jail because she's white. Federal prosecutors say an infamous Capitol attack defendant who traveled to Washington on a private plane and called January 6th one of her best days of my life should spend time in prison, in part because she didn't think she would. Jennifer Ryan was arrested in January after she openly bragged about her exploit at the Capitol on social media, live stream on Facebook from inside the building, and tweeted a photo of herself standing at a broken window, capturing it. If the news doesn't stop, pay attention to this part. If the news doesn't stop lying about us, we're going to come after their studios next. Um, Ahead of Ryan's sentencing this week, federal prosecutor said she would spend 60 days in prison because she knew the day could turn violent and she was going to war. Promoted violence at the Capitol, chanted "Hang Mike Pence," promoted violence against the news media, claimed she deserved a medal for what she did, spread false information about the riot, lied about her participation in the riot, and sought to exploit um, her presence during the attack on Capitol Hill. And um, prosecutors said Ryan had for the past 10 years promoted her personal brand, toward her success as a real estate broker, self-help coach, and media personality, and then drew on her considerable experience as a social media influence to promote violence before her arrival at Capitol. The Justice Department sentence memo said that Ryan was publicly cheerleading a violent attack that forced an interruption of the certification of the 2020 electoral college vote count, threatened the peaceful transfer of power after the 2020 election, injured more than 100 law enforcement officers, and result in more than $1 million worth of property damage. Moreover, the government said Ryan tweet stating she had blonde hair, white skin, and a great job, a great future, and I'm not going to jail. Showed she thought she was immune from punishment for her crimes because of her race and physical appearance. A defendant who believes she is immune from strict punishment because of her race and physical appearance may reoffend because the consequences for wrongdoing would never, in the defendant mind, be served even when severely is murdered, prosecutor Wright. Perhaps the most compelling need for Pacific the terms arise from the defendant misguided belief that she is above the law or at least insult from incarceration. The feds wrote that Brian found it appropriate to promote her real estate business as she stormed the Capitol, announcing, "You guys, will you believe this? I'm not messing around. When I come to sell your house, this is what I would do. I will fucking sell your house." Prosecutor also wrote that Brian posted a photo of members of the mob attacking media equipment, calling it cool moments, and saying writers just went to town on the AP equipment. They said one of Ryan's co-defendant, Catherine Schwab, joined the crowd assault by kicking media equipment and throwing one piece of equipment to the ground. Ryan pled guilty in August, admitting in her statement of offense that she posted, "Today was a great example of what America is about." On Twitter, after the attack, that she was seen on video chatting "Fight for Trump" and the Rotunda, and that she pardoned discrimination of picketing inside the Capitol when she knew that she did not have permission to enter the building. Brian will be sentenced 10 a.m. Thursday by the U.S. District Judge Christopher R. Cooper. The FBI has made about 650 arrests in connection with the January 6th attack, representing roughly one quarter of the total number of people who committed chargeable criminal activity that day. So far, more than 100 people have pled guilty in connection with the Capitol attack, and fewer than 2 dozen have been sentenced. Um, so the question is tonight, do you feel that she should uh, serve time for her punishment? Um, so I'm just kind of curious how y'all feel. I have my opinion. Welcome to the show, Keith Johnson. Thank you for always tuning in, supporting the show. Said, "Oh yeah, she going to do some incarceration. She don't. If this judge do not sentence her to do time, that says a lot about that judge. Now take it." Troy Smart, we talked about him last week. I thought he was at Capitol Hill when he allegedly made those threats, and he got 14 months. But he made the threats online and got 14 months. Now, she flew from Texas to there, and they try to justify his sentence because of his past um, criminal record. But the thing is, they both were wrong. But the difference between the two, like she said, she have a white skin. Troy Smoke looked like me. And so far, that been the steepest uh, sentence that have came out that I'm aware of. 14 months. Now she's saying it's the best day of her life on the way there. She going live on Facebook and encouraging people to promote violence. Um, but she only facing 6 months in prison. Now the brother is facing 14 months. When it's all said and done, what these people have done is a domestic terrorist attack. There's no other way of putting it. And they all need to be held accountable just like any other terrorist. They definitely need to be held accountable. But we will see come Thursday. So hopefully this judge do what's right. Because if he don't, then that says a lot about that judge. She's saying would be true. And I feel like what I've been saying all the time and how Miss Risky and I have been talking about the difference between black laws and white laws. Black people get a stricter sentence than the white counterpartners do. So the thing is, This is going to be interesting on Thursday. So, yeah, I keep saying she actually thought Trump was going to help her out of this bind. Yeah, she thought he was. A lot of them thought it was. A lot of them thought he was actually going to pardon them before he got out of office. But the bottom line, no, you need to be held accountable for your action. Now, the thing is, like I said with Troy Smart, yeah, he did it. He made the threats. Well, guess what? He have to do the time. And for her to come out and tweet it and thinking nobody is going to pick up on what she's saying, well, hey, now I understand she a real estate broker, but I wonder if because I seen she's part of some company, which I'm not going to say their name, but at the same time, are they okay with her doing that? Doing a domestic uh, attack on America, on our democracy? Are they okay with that? That speak a lot about that company. So the thing is, I wouldn't do business with them for the simple fact. Why would I want to do business that supports somebody that okay it for people to attack America, the greatest country in this world? And I say the greatest country, but it's not all that great for people of color. Well, it depends on what color you are. But if you black, it's not all that great. But I would pick this over any other country. So my thing is, yeah, she need to do as much time the law allows. She need to do the maximum amount. 6 months, I think that's a slap on the wrist. That's for anybody. They need to be treated just like any other terrorist that that would have done something like this. How would you treat them? What time would they get? Because that's it's all the same. Only difference is they're American. Look how many people that was injured. The police officer where they say back the blue. But blue didn't matter that day. Blue definitely did not matter that day because they attacked the blue. And then the officers that committed suicide are the ones that died in the line of duty from being attacked. Somebody need to be held accountable for that. And from my understanding, if you're taking part in a uh, in a crime spree, because that's what it was, a crime spree, and if someone lose their life, you could be charged with it. So even if you're not the responsible party, but you was a part of it, your action make you a part of it. So those officers that was injured and killed, they should be charged for that too. Picketing at the Capitol, that's like saying that's a slap on the wrist. You letting them go with nothing. But these families are still grieving. Uh, well, they're a big name company. They are a big name company. So, and according to her profile, she had them listed uh, with her company. So, trust me, for the last couple of hours, I've been online doing research, and she's promoting her business on this the whole time. Now, here's the key: would I purchase a home from her? Hell no. I wouldn't purchase no home from her. Knowing that she did something like this, I'd be like, oh, hell no. You're a terrorist. I'm not going to support a terrorist person. No. You tried to overthrow our government. Why would I want you to sell a house for me or purchase a house through you? No, I wouldn't do that. So yeah, she's a terrorist. And for her to have that company name there listed next to her business name, and I'm sure they know what she have done. They know exactly what she have done. To be honest with you, she should not be a licensed broker for the simple fact you tried to overthrow our government and then gonna say because you have white skin, you blonde, you won't do no jail time. And at the same time, if that is the case, we also need to vote that judge out. And while we speaking of voting, don't forget to go vote tomorrow. It's important. No matter where you're located, you need to vote. We need to send a message, especially here in Texas. We need to send a message to Greg Abbott, Ken Patson, and let them know time is up. Oh, I haven't forgot about uh who's the other one? Greg Abbott, Ken Patson, Dan Patrick. Yeah, all of them need to go. So as for Jennifer, she tried to go by Jenny, but Jennifer, call you by your name, Jennifer Lee Ryan, you need to go to jail. Oh, big Bertha gonna love when you come. She gonna braid that little hair. Uh, exactly. It's sad. It's sad for anybody to disrespect our country. Now you claim you're a patriot, but here it is, you try to overthrow our government. No, that don't make you a patriot, that make you a terrorist. That's what that make you. But at the same time, it's a lot of people do it. And to be honest with you, as I'm looking at her picture while she had this scarf on that is made like an American flag. What a lot of people don't realize while you driving around with these American flags on the back of your trucks, your clothes, and stuff like that, that's disrespecting our flag. Not what uh, Colin did. He was kneeling because of the police brutality going on against black folks, and they want to make it about the flag. Well, why don't you get upset about the way people wearing this as she wear this American scarf while she doing an attack on America? Help me to make sense of that because I don't understand it. To be honest with you, she's up here, American scarf, her 45 skull cap, and all of this, but at the same time, you're attacking America. How can you be a patriot and attack America at the same time? The two don't go together. Now, I'm not gonna talk too much about her religions, but it's not adding up because here it is. If you go and look at her Twitter account, she deleted her Facebook, but if you go and look at her Twitter account, she got um, all the religion statement, Bishop Japes, everybody else on there. But how can you attack and spread hatred and violence and still love the Lord? I'm just curious about it. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go too far in her religion because that's her personal relationship between her and the God she serves. And for me, the two just don't go together. I'm not perfect. I know I'm not because I will cuss you out in a minute. Then I pray for you after. But but the thing is, I know I'm not perfect, but I'm not finna go out here and incite violence against our country and make comment saying that you know you're not going to jail because you blonde, you white, you have a good job, a great future. If that ain't all racist because you white, that's what's wrong with our justice system. Because of the color of people's skin, they get a slap on the wrist. They get a flap on the wrist. Miss Risky and I is working on some things for the end of the year show that we're gonna break down because it's been a while since we did the difference between black laws and white laws. But we working on the show to do that again. And that's how they think because they feel that they privileged to do things that they want to do without no consequences. And that's the problem we have with a lot of folks because whatever action you do is always a consequence to come behind it. Excuse me. But and you're right, Keith. The two doesn't mix well at all. No. And then allegedly, uh, I'm not gonna say it because people start going to it, and she started getting views. But the bottom line is with her, she need to be held accountable for her action. Uh, this judge, I believe I said Cooper. Um, hopefully, he do the right thing. He do the right thing. Hold her accountable. Here it is. They talked about taking our leaders hostage. Uh, she yelled, "Hey, Mike Pence," that was our sitting vice president at the time. I could just imagine what would have happened if any of them would have caught up with one of those elected officials. What would have happened? I could I can imagine that because we see the way they did the police. The same folks to say back the blue, but then they turned around and attacked the blue. So it's a complete different on that. So I could just imagine what the headline would have been if they would have got one of our leaders hostage. That would have been a terrible thing. And far as I'm concerned, that's what they plans were. And that's why we need to hold them accountable appropriately. I'm quite sure if Troy Smunk would have said, "Hey, I want to go out of the country because I'm holding a retreat for my business," do you think they would have allowed their brother to leave the country? Same crime, different color skin, though. Do you think they would have allowed him to leave the country? I personally don't think they would have. They would have laughed at him, been like, "No, he's a threat. He's a threat." Unfortunately, when it come down to people of color, we are a threat because of the color of our skin, which is terrible. Very terrible. You're listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm him, Who You With Kurt Dog. Want to welcome all the viewers again on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is in the house, and we're also doing a live recording for Anchor.fm where you can subscribe to the channel. You can catch all the replays on there. And also, you can subscribe. It's just $2.99 a month. We do other shows that we don't make public, not unless you are subscribed to the channel. That's the only way you can hear those shows. Um, but also, we've been talking about Jennifer Lee Ann. Uh, I think her name Lee Ann or Lee Jennifer Lee Ryan or whatever it is. The terrorist attack that left Denton County, went to Washington, and said it was the best day of her life, where she will be sentenced on a Thursday morning, 10 a.m. And she said March 26th, she wasn't doing no jail time because her hair is blonde, her skin is white. She have a good job and a and a great career in the future, something like that. But either way, it shouldn't matter what color your skin is. You did the crime, so you should definitely do the time. Um, Now, also, gonna hit on this story that came out um earlier today, but it actually happened. Um, I believe it was on Friday. Um, yeah, on Friday. Alabama judge removed from office, court find racist conduct and sexual inappropriate behavior. Um, Now, this a judge. Talladega County probate judge Randy Jinks was removed from office Friday after Alabama court um, found he violated judicial ethics rules by displaying racist conduct and sexual inappropriate behavior. Jinks' attorney on Sunday denied the allegation and said they are considering an appeal to the Alabama Supreme Court. The nine-member court held the trial on charges um, brought by the Alabama Judicial Inquiry Commission in March. The trial, which ended last week, included 18 witnesses presented by the commission and nine other presented by Jinks' attorney, according to court order. In its removal of Jinks from office, the court found that the commission, which prosecuted that in charge, provided by clear and convincing evidence that Jinks violated jurisdiction canon of ethics. That include the court stated display racial conduct when he asked an attorney in the presence of a probate office employee if he knew about uh, racial epithet involving the N word. Um, Asking Darius Pearson if he was a drug when Pearson purchased a new vehicle. Saying in a recorded conversation in the workplace, y'all got to quit burning shit down because you will need something to burn down after Trump get reelected to a second terms. Sons of bitches. Jinx also found by the court to have violated jurisdiction canon of ethics by dispatch inappropriate demeanor. Although this court does not find that the commission prove all of its allegation of sexual inappropriate demeanor, this court found the judge Jink did display sexual inappropriate conduct when, for example, he showed a subordinate a sexual video in the workplace. The court of the jurisdiction also found that Jinks violated ethics rules when he sought an assistant district attorney approval for an early release for a criminal defense. Yeah, I could just imagine who that defendant looked like. I'm sure he didn't look like me. The court did rule in Jinks' favor on other ethics charge. Amanda Hardy, attorney for Jinks, issued a statement to AL.com Sunday. Brandy Jinks has spent his entire life not being accused of being a racist. Once he entered politics and became the first Republican to hold that office, that all changed, Hardy stated. Um, Sometime deep down inside, people put a mask on the outside to make people like them. But when you dig up those roots, when you dig up those, you're gonna find that some, somewhere down in the deep down inside, um, somewhere down inside, you're gonna find out that there's some racist stuff going on, especially in Alabama. What's going on, say Al? Hopefully, all is well with you and the family. I'm doing good. Everything is good. I'm on this weight loss thing. Trying to get it in. I'm down quite a bit, so that's a good thing. Just had a Amber Alert to come out of Glen Height, Texas. Child abduction in Glen Height, Texas. Black 2017 GMC Terrain with Missouri license plate CTO D6R. Victim is a 14-year-old black female, Stevie Johnson, who was last seen wearing a gray jacket, blue jeans, and Air Force One shoes. Uh, Suspect is a black female who is non-custodian parent and adopted. Johnson at a school bus stop. Please call 911 with information. Um, so definitely, if you see this vehicle 2017, a black 2017 GMC Terrain with Missouri um, license plate CTOD6R. So, and that's out of Glen Height, Texas. So I'm glad that they are listening to us um, about also putting out Amber Alerts for Black kids. Um, Not sure when that happened, but this just came across the phone just 1 minute ago. Um, so hopefully they can find this young lady pretty good. And I think we need to do another show because it sounds like he's the non-custodian parent. And I we done a show about malicious parent syndrome. Um Look like we need to do another show about that because we hearing more and more about um non-custodian parent doing things or it's always a fight. When it's all said and done, it's the child that's going to suffer the most. The child is going to be the one to suffer. So um I'm gonna see if we could get a show in with that before the end of the year, and I'm sure we can. I just need to make the phone call. So we'll try to get a show in about that, and because that was a great show, and we definitely need to talk about it because I've talked with several people that either they going through it, or um, they know somebody who's going through it. So that's um, that's something that we definitely need to talk about. Um, I appreciate it, Sal. Yeah, it I have to tell you about it later, but it's going good. I scaled this morning, and I've lost about 35 pounds. I know y'all really can't tell because my head is real big, but I lost about 35. So it's coming off. So this gonna be one of the parts I really don't like. Uh, for the simple fact that um that means I'm gonna have to go shopping. So that's gonna be the part I really don't like, having to spend that money to go shopping. But hey, gotta look right, because I can't be having clothes sagging on me. But uh, definitely praying for a safe return for the young lady. Hopefully, they find her safe. And I don't like to prejudge anything, but uh, some of what, just by reading that Amber Alert saying the non-custodian parent. And I would tell anybody that if you're dealing with a malicious parent, um, now it could be male or female, the father or the mother, and basically what malicious parent is keep the child away from the parent, either by lying to the child or even uh, just not telling that parent anything, which is wrong. It's wrong. Uh, it's important that the child know both sides of the family, because it may be some medical issues going on that eventually that child would need to know. And that's one of those situations that need to be talked about. And for this Amber Alert to come out, it's like, hey, we need to do another show on it. So I have choices on counselors. So I'm gonna see if Miss Kincaid available. If not, I will reach out to another one of our counselors and see if they're available, and if we could get a show in by the end of the year, because that's something we definitely need to talk about. Said yes, we need another show about that. That's right, kids suffer the most. Yeah, because a lot of time what people don't realize, some of this trust issue, bitterness, um, it comes from your childhood. Comes from your childhood, and if you've been told years one parent, sometimes you need to find out the answer for yourself, because people would lie. They would lie about different things. And because you with that person all the time, you may think it's true. You may think it's true. So it's best that you do your own research, your own finding. And once you do that, then you can make your own decision if you want to have a relationship with that mother, that father, or if you don't. Don't let someone else choose that for you, because 9 times out of 10, the person that choosing that for you is not at your best interest. So I'm saying we're gonna do another show on it. Um, I'll reach out to them tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow night I can tell y'all, kind of get an idea when we could do it, and go from there. So T-Cow, welcome to the house. I'm glad you made it in. Thank you for always supporting the show. So, hey, Kurt Dog, my alert for the show didn't come on. Glad called you. I was late today. I was late. I was doing a long research, and doing that research, I think I had like 6 minutes to put the alert up. And I did. It probably didn't go out, because normally I try to give it at least an hour. hour and a half ahead, but I didn't do it to the last minute. So if doing my research and I didn't want to be on here too late. T Cal said I remember those shows. Indeed, we do. And so I'm gonna try to get it set up and see if we can talk about. And if it's somebody who's dealing with malicious parents or have dealt with it, and let me explain it. If you dealt with one parent not in your life, um, and you don't know why, or you may know why because you listen to the other parent, or if it's one of those situations where you later found out that parent that raised you lied all these years about the other parent. If you want to be on the show, definitely reach out to me. Reach out to me, and we would definitely, uh, once we get the show together, we would definitely have you on. Um, um, I would make an exception. I would have it where if you don't want to be on camera, that's fine. We could do it where you could call in. You could call in because I understand this this situation can be embarrassing for some people, and of course, you don't want to put your parent out on the spotlight either, saying that they malicious and they done this to you. But at the end of the day, the only one that's gonna suffer is that child. That child growing up, that child as a grown up, and it's gonna mess around and set the tone for how they love life will go. And I feel that's the reason why a lot of people are so bitter in the world because of their upbringing. So that's hopefully we can somebody. So I will be making calls tomorrow. If one of the counselors are listening that want to come on, hey, reach out to me. Send me an email. Who you with kirkdog at mail.com. Who you with kirkdog at mail.com. And put in the subject um, malicious parent syndrome show or parent show, whatever, for I can see it because I'm behind on emails. I used to talk about my wife all the time by not checking her email, and I have 1,035 emails right now, and I deleted a couple of hundred today. So that's between all my emails. Um, yeah, I'm behind. So the bottom line is put in the subject. Um, you want to be on the show, and I will respond back. Tomorrow, I'm gonna take the time. I'm gonna go through all my emails, get them cleared out, and I'll be back on track for at least a day or two. Um, but definitely reach out to me. Who you with? KirkDog at mail.com. And and we'll work it out. It's something that need to be talked about on a regular base because we hearing too much about stuff like this, and it's um it's not good. So like I said tonight, I'm not gonna hold you long because it's 10 o'clock now and came on late. So, but tomorrow night we will be on at 8 p.m. Central Time, and we'll be talking about some more things. And hopefully, I can give you a date. What date we looking for to have the show on, and go from there. So, until tomorrow night, I love each and every one of you. Until then, peace.